Okay, how'd you go? You can see I've joined the sides from my slab vase. So far so good. Just kind of smoothing it out where I've joined that coil. Make sure it's a really strong join. You can see, remember the stick just sitting beside there when you're pushing against the side walls. Really handy to have that stick. And you can see, it's reasonably firm now. So what I'm going to do now is I've scored all of these edges and these edges in preparation for joining the front of the slab vase. So what I do is I just put a couple of bits of slip. Sometimes the nozzle gets a bit stuck, so sometimes I have to kind of clean the nozzle out with a knife. And then I'm going to, this is a tricky thing I do, particularly on narrow vases, where I'll actually put the coil in place before I join the next slab. You don't have to do it, but I find it's really handy. Saves me having to kind of stand it up, fiddle around getting my coil in there. So I just sort of place it below where the slab is going to sit, okay? And then just get a bit more slip and make sure I fill up any of the gaps that might be there, so that when I put the slab on the top, I know it's going to squeeze the slip out and I won't have any air trapped in there. So you can see how that is. Then what I do is I get a couple of bits of sponge, but you could use like a hand towel, just fold it up, and I want to sit it in there to support that slab. I mean, the slab's fairly firm, but I find with that bit of support, it just doesn't collapse on me. I don't have to worry about it. You can see that the sponge is a little bit higher because I do want the front of that box to be a bit curved, and I'll curve the other side later. But like I said, if you haven't got sponge, just think what else you could use. You could use, like I said, just a hand towel and fold it up. And then get your slab, and you can see I've scored all of those edges again. I think, just for security, a bit of extra slip wouldn't go astray on those sides. And then rock the slab over and lay it in place. Hook up the top first so that you get it really lined up well, and make good contact. So just a bit of pressure in those corners just to make really good contact and make sure that it's nice and level on the base. And then go down to the bottom and line it up, and you can see I'm just working my way along the edges, forcing the slip out. Not that it's running everywhere, but just I know that I'm making a good solid join. So really important that you can compress that joint so it's nice and firm, making really good contact. And you can see the way I just run my fingers up and down the seam, just cleaning off the excess slip and making a good joint. Then you can actually get your hand up on the inside and you can gently work that coil into that join. So you can go, I can get my finger up halfway up that way, and then I can just turn it around and come back the other way, and really compress that coil into that joint. If you can't get in there, you could use a wooden modeling tool, you could use a paintbrush and just run it up and down inside that corner just to make sure that you get that join really nice and secure. Okay, so work on that, and then I'll come back and show you how to add the base to the pot. Okay.